Well, hello, happy new year, and welcome back to Terribly Rad. I feel like I have tried to sleep as much as I can between finishing all my Christmas quilts and starting off the new year, but here we are. It's 2025, and that means it is time for a new year, a new project, a new challenge maybe, and no by January. So by the day this posts, this is gonna be about a week in, and I have not bought anything in the month of January. I think this is my third year doing no by January, and I think I can do it again. And so why I do no by January is just to kind of little refresh, reset, and re-see what I have in my sewing room, what I have to work with, what I can use up on my own, and just kind of figure out where my impulse buying has started, where it's going, and where to go from here. So that said, I'm not buying anything in January. I'm buying any fabric, that is. So like if I have to quilt for somebody, I'm obviously not gonna be like, sorry, you can give me your quilt now, but I'm not gonna quilt until February because I don't have thread. I'm gonna buy the notions that I need. I'm gonna buy batting if I need it, because I do have some projects that I need to finish up as well as part of my no by January, and get them going, get them out of here, and get them on their way. But before I dove into no by January, I needed to do something first, and that was clean my sewing room. So while my sister was here for the holidays, she's up in Oregon getting her PhD. And so when she was here, she volunteered. I did not ask her. She volunteered to come help me clean my sewing room. And it made a difference. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of before and then a little bit of the after. And I can confirm that the after still looks like it does now. It's still got a few tweaks here and there, but I feel like as the months come, as the days come, as I use things up, it's gonna shuffle a little bit. So I'm hoping that I can keep this situation set up as it is, and keep it going and kind of move things out versus moving more things in. I've tried tracking my fabric in the past, but I get stuck on that. So let me show you my before and after videos, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about no by January and some things that are coming up. So here's what we're starting with before my cleaning volunteers come and help me out. Remember, my sister's the one that said she would help me. I did not ask for help. I just assumed that this was how it was going to be for a while, and that I was going to be jumping on the declutter challenge train again. But she said she'd help while she was here from the holidays. So between her, my mom, and I, and my 4-year-old niece, we'll see what happens. I think the niece is going to end up playing with Trixie a little bit and watching some Sesame Street, but I feel like this isn't as bad as the last time I did one of these truth videos of the cleaning chaos. So I'm planning on rearranging some things if all fits well. So see you when it's done. So here is how the room is looking now. My pile of quilts that I have to sort through is over here. But I've moved my cutting table here for its storage space, and then my ironing board is now over here. I just have to make sure I don't get my iron too close to my design wall, because that's got a plastic backing, so that would be a real bummer. But all the tubs that were over here are now gone, except for this one is all my grunge scraps, which is going to come use in the next year. And then these are like pieces that I got from you guys, as well as some 3-yard quilt equivalents. And then these are just ones that I need to sort through. These are all cat fabrics, I can guarantee you that. So I have to sort through those. I don't think I have room on my shelf for them, but I've got tubs in my closet to sort still. So all of my usable batting scraps are now over here. These are all my Quilter's Dream ones. They are what I'm going to be using. The ones in my closet are going to get donated. Long arm's still here, and that didn't change. And then all my Kona scraps are now under here. So then when I go to sew, I can move over here to this wall, or sew here and just move my cutting table over here when I need to cut. But now I've got all this, it's my air purifier, all of this space here, and hopefully it'll stay that way. So here's to a scrappy and clean and new 2025. So now that you've seen the change, looks great, right? And so it's already been a little bit more spacious, already been a good transition, and some of my stuff that I've needed to replace, I have moved out of here. So my old sewing machine, my DC 2010, the one I sewed all my sheep quilts on. It's gonna live in my Tudo. I think that's what I'm gonna take on sew days, because my new one is quite a beast to load up, but I haven't fully decided yet. It may go with me on retreats, but I think just to keep things more organized, that I'm gonna have like a go kit where my machine's all packed and ready to go. So if somebody's like, hey, let's sew tomorrow, I don't have to tear everything apart and go from there. And so let's talk no by January and where I'm going with that. So I've got a lot of fabric, as you can tell. We've got a lot of scraps that I gotta sort through, and I am going to reattempt what I tried to do last year, and that was Scrappy New Year. So I really wanna do a lot of scrappy projects this year, just to kind of move out those chunks, different projects, some finish it ups, and what I plan to do. I have some good plans this year, and I think I'm gonna make them happen. And so I've already started a 100 block project with a paper piecing book that I have purchased, and I've got a new little printer that I'm very excited to kind of give you some 101 about, and it's going to go along with that. So those are going to kind of come together. I'm working on that video now, so then you can see, and I'm going to use my Kona scraps for that. So 100 blocks, whole bunch of Kona scraps. Even though they're 6-inch blocks, they'll use a little bit, but we'll get things going. And so my first 100 block project, we'll talk about that in a couple days. Yes, I said first, there may be a second if I get around to it. I've wanted to do the blocks from the Tula Pink City Sampler again. I joined a Facebook group for that, but we'll see. And then also I have plans to do a different surprise scrappy project 10 months out of the year, because we're just getting started in January, and then we're coming up on Quiltmas will be in December again. I don't think it's gonna be as wild and crazy as this last one, but I still wanna dedicate that month to that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use one of the online prize wheels to put 10 mystery projects in there that have to do with different scrappy projects, whether it is that wonky log cabin, or an economy block with some fussy cutting, or the ugly quilt again from Karen Brown, Just Get It Done, or there's this Fandango quilt that my coworker has made, or maybe I'll do that clamshell finally. So some of these things are projects I've wanted to get done and kind of worked on. Other of them are things that I just wanted to try. So that's gonna be my plan for each month, is there'll be some kind of scrappy project along with other ones, because I won't be able to do just scrappy all year long as much as I would like to. I've got other things I gotta do this year. Like one of my projects that's coming up in the next couple weeks is a baby quilt for my sister, not for my sister. My sister asked me to make the baby quilt for my niece's preschool teacher that she's had since she was 5 months old. And now that they are looking at moving on from their current place where she's at school, this will be their last year with that teacher. So she wanted to make a baby quilt, so that'll be coming up soon. And I know I'll just find projects that I want to do, or friends are gonna have birthdays, or Quiltmas is coming up, or I want to make some pouches, those Hemingway pouches, or I want to make some things for QuiltCon, or I've got kits that I haven't finished. Whole wide gamut of things that are going to kind of pair in with the different scrappy things, but I'm hoping I can do it and make a dent in some of these scraps, and maybe get some of my started block of the month, that Art East one, that super cute little blocks. I still have that to do with my grunge scraps. We kind of bagged and pulled everything while my mom and my sister were here sorting. So I've got a projects bag, and fingers crossed we can do it. So that's my plan, is no by January and Scrappy New Year. And I'm working on figuring out my video schedule. So some weeks there may be 2 videos, some weeks there may just be 1. Who knows? It may just be a wild card this year of when and where and how many videos get posted in a week. And we'll go from there. So happy New Year, happy Scrappy New Year, happy no by January to those that celebrate, and let's get quilty real soon.